Hello and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. We are making our way through Matthew chapter 6. Yesterday we started Matthew chapter 6 verse 9, which is the beginning of what is known as the Lord's Prayer. It's something that a lot of us say weekly, maybe even on a daily basis. But there's also a lot of meaning, a lot of theology, a lot of great foundational Christian teaching contained in this prayer. I think sometimes we may overlook based on its popularity and how used we are to saying it. So today Matthew 6 verse 10 says, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." You know, most of us are familiar with as I said yesterday, the King James or the Douay-Rheims version of this prayer, and that verse in those particular translations say, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Now, what's significant about this verse is that it's a modification of an ancient Jewish prayer which said, "The kingdom of thy Messiah come." So here Christ is altering this expression to say, "Hey, I'm here. So your kingdom come." So this is kind of a declaration of Jesus also saying, "Hey, I'm already here. I'm already here. But at the same time, I'm coming again." And it's to let the disciples know that obviously the Messiah has come, and it's a kingdom of the Father. Through grace that he came to save us, to save man. It's a really awesome parallel when you think about the ancient Jewish prayer and how Jesus is modifying it to fit himself, to make the declaration of his kingship, of his messiahship. And so thy kingdom come, we're praying for the success of the gospel message to go throughout the world. Not only that men may have eternal life, but that lives are changed in the process. And we make disciples of all nations, as Matthew 28 says. We make disciples of all nations. We go throughout all areas of the world to proclaim the good news in Jesus Christ. And Jesus says, "Thy will be done." This is also a modification of an ancient Jewish prayer, which said, "Do thy will in heaven." Well, here we're asking God to do his will not only in heaven, but on earth, in our lives, to change us, to change our behavior, to make us like him. God's will be done in all circumstances, not just in what we want, but in everything, because he knows what we need, what our neighbor needs, what the world needs, better, absolutely better than any of us can fathom. So it's a desire. We're asking God to give us a desire to do the will of God as it's done in heaven. We're asking to do it voluntarily, cheerfully, as fast as possible, without delay, perfectly, completely. So Lord, your will be done. Your kingdom come. Thank you for joining me on this edition of the Daily Bible Podcast, and join me tomorrow as we delve into verse 11 and we continue on in the Lord's Prayer. And as always, any questions, comments, feedback, please send them to hopewithin18@gmail.com. Same with any prayer requests. And as always, if you enjoy the show, please rate it, please share it. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you.